Okay, so I have this piece here that's a little bit longer than I normally use. That's where I cut myself on camera. I'm gonna flame polish that end just a little bit. It's far enough away from me, I don't have to worry about it too much burning the piss out of me. Alright, so I'm gonna actually open the end of this one. And I'm going to take my impromptu reamer here, and I'm going to open this whole piece up. I'm going to open it up pretty good here. Now this end is open, okay? Now, what's going to happen here is I'm going to burn the piss out of myself, all for my art. Oops, yep, I already did. The other thing I got to do here is this is my silver. There's silver on the end of this. It's 99, 4/9's fine, 3/9's fine. Silver. I'm going to stick that in the kiln real quick to warm it up. If I go right into the fire with it, it's going to crack. The other thing I got going on here is this piece of glass I picked off my shelf right next to me. This is an older point, and it's dirty on the outside. So we're gonna try to clean it a little bit. That didn't really work all that great. All right, so we're gonna throw some heat into this sucker. Now, like I said, remember just because I turn the outer fire on does not mean that it's that much hotter, other than I'm just creating a larger surface area. So what I'm doing is I want to get this tube relatively hot here. Not super duper hot, but yeah, you know what? It's getting pretty hot. Alright, so that's way more hotter than it needs to be. Almost instantaneously too hot. I set it down. There we go. There's my reamer. This profile tubing is not very friendly to reamers. As a matter of fact, I ruined a reamer with it. Now I'm going to grab my silver here. I'm going to stick my finger over the end of this. This is my fuming flame. Now I took my finger off the end. I'm trying to get fume to go all the way up into the tube, and it's not doing it. It won't do it until I burn my fingers, probably. Oh, there it goes. It's starting to go. Apparently I'm missing a chunk of silver off this. I thought there was more silver on this thing. The more silver on your silver rod, the easier it fumes. Without flux, silver does not like to stick into glass. Alright, we're getting there. Yep, right about the time I start to burn the piss out of my fingers. Shooting that silver right up in there. So what we've done is we've colored the inside of the glass here. Now we're going to seal the tube. I don't want that. now I'm going to seal this end. I've got a clear rod here. What I'm going to draw this end down or in. I've got a relatively inconsistent heat going on here, so I'm going to take it out and just give it a little. I'm just going to give it a little bit more love into a hole, into a circle here, and we're going to take this excess off. But doing so, we're creating a pattern on the end, just like that. Right. Oh, we've done that. Now, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but there's a pattern there now. There's a little bit excess glass, and I'm going to get rid of that just by blowing into it. Hopefully it'll come out. Yeah, not really. We'll work with it. Okay. So now we've got a pattern, basically just a spiral on the end here. I'm trying to even that out. I may end up pulling that excess off. Yeah, that's going to go. That's going to go away. There we go. I'm going to give it a little bit more heat here to try to even this thing out a little. And hopefully I can blow this into a ballish type shape. All right. Kinda. Try to close this end down a little. Let's take some heat out of here. It's a fantastic way to burn the face of your torch. Alright, now, I'm trying to do this on camera, which is not easy. And I just blew just the tiniest little puff of air into that. Now what I'm trying to do is to get this end round. Okay? Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to blow a hole in it. I'm going to take my little reamer here. And make this hole bigger. This hole is pretty big now. I'm going to grab another rod. I'm going to grab the wrong end, of course. So now I got to polish the end of this rod. I got some buggers on it too, which is not good, but oh, no, they went away. All right, I'm going to stick it right on the end here. It's a cold tack on the end. And I'm going to melt this end in. Leaving not too much glass, but definitely enough that I have something to close on this side. I'm going to change my angle a little here. Alright. I'm kind of using gravity here. Lucky, let's hear that pop in a minute. Now I'm going to grab a smaller, this might explode, or this might not work, so I haven't actually done one like this in a while with this material. Alright, and again, we're going to, oh, that's red. I think it was that. Ah, shite. Alright. That's going to go there. It's going to go there. Alright, so I'm lining this up with this, hopefully enough. Then I'm going to put this up here. See if that doesn't make a hole in it. Good. Be right back. Edits. Okay, now we're going to grab a tube here, which I should have pre-prepared, but I didn't. Okay. I actually do have a bunch of these pre-made, but I just don't have it right in front of me right now. So I'm going to flare the end of this tube out a little. Flare the end of that out. And we're going to quick throw a polish on this end because these are snap cut and the ends are razor sharp. Well, they're sharp as a piece of glass. Let me see if I have one that's ready to go here. Yeah, oh, this one. This is going to pop. Shockingly, no. I'm going to pull this flare off because I don't like it. It's too big. And you heat a little, so I closed the tube here and I'm heating it and I'm heating the end. Now I'm going to blow into it. Now very carefully I'm going to go over here to my bucket. I have to the right of me, off camera, I think it's off camera, I have a bucket full of water. Now the material that I just blew out was so thin that it floats on air and sucks right into your lungs. It is not a good thing. You never want to blow out a bubble and pop it if you can avoid it, unless it's a little tiny one like that vaporizes right away. Okay. So now that's enough, much nicer. And now let's see if I can join these two together. Without anything cracking or breaking. That might be wishing one hand shit in the other. Alright. Flare this out a little. I'm going to let gravity do it. Okay, now that's kind of a cold joint, but it is. I don't know if you can hear that hum. If it goes, generally it's sealed. It's not a hard seal, but it is definitely a seal. Now, here's where I break this. So I'm going to shock it, and I broke a hole in it. All right. So when this material is so thin that when I shocked it, I shocked this piece because this piece is thicker. I shocked this piece more than this piece, and it broke. That's okay. And we're just going to seal the hole up here, just like that. Alright, so that hole is now sealed, but it is inconsistent. So my wall thickness is inconsistent. So I'm going to heat this whole thing up nice and gently. I'm going to try to get as gentle of a heat as I can into this to try to even this mess out. And I have absolutely created a mess here. Okay, so we're getting floppy. Which I really didn't want floppy. I also have a little nipple here on the bottom where I hold it tight. You notice I'm varying my distance between the flame and the torch face. It may even be going out of camera. I need this to be heated very slowly and as consistently as possible, or else it'll blow out. It'll pop. I cannot stress enough that this material is super duper thin, and actually working with it is incredibly difficult for me. We're getting there. We're starting to get a nice little shape to this piece. Now, and keep in mind that this is a Christmas ornament, so this is going to be a Christmas ornament. So there is, I'm allowed to have it a little inconsistent. That's why I make them. That's why I make them. All right. And consistency is all practice. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Now, I don't know if you can hear the hum over the noise of the fan there. I said, in the flame, out of the flame, into the flame, out of the flame, all just to try to get a little consistency out of this. I don't want it to turn into a ball of goo. I have plenty of those. I don't need any more. Now, we're going to give this one last little puff, I think. I actually kind of like that one. Now I'm going to tighten this flame all the way up. Oh, damn it. Flame out. I'm going to throw this back in I'm going to throw this into the kiln for a second because I got something I got to do. Which is relight my torch. But I need to prep the end of this a little bit better. This is going to be my punt rod. Actually, I could probably do this with a pair of fingers. You know, I think that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm just going to heat this end up too. I think I'm going to do this with fingers. So, what I have right here in my pile of shit is a blow pipe. Whoop. This is a blow tube, or a blow swivel. So what this is it's a swivel. This is the best I could tell. This is a swivel. This is some surgical tubing. That's a zip tie. And then at this end I have a mouthpiece. I actually made this mouthpiece, obviously. What this allows me to do is precisely control my joint. That's the unhappy pair. One of these I burned the end off, so it's inconsistent at the end. I need a bigger set of these, but these will work for right now. These actually need to be cleaned. They got rust on them. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to heat these up. This is kind of hot. And we're just going to use these fingers here to hold it. Okay, so I'm nice and round here. Now, I'm not going to be able to talk a whole lot, I don't think. Oops. See. I'll be able to talk a whole lot when I do this, but you never know. I talk with a cigarette in my mouth. Why can't I talk with this in my mouth, right? All right, so I'm going to set this on the graphite for a second. I'm going to readjust my torch. I got a pretty precise flame here, and I'm going to heat this ship joint that I made. I'm actually blowing in this thing pretty hard when it's cold to try to push it a little tiny bit more. I'm trying to see for inconsistencies in the wall thickness, or like obvious air lines. I don't see any. Alright, so I'm going to blow a hole in it right about there. Okay, why did I do that? Well, we don't need that anymore. If I don't blow a hole in that, when I go to seal this, right now actually, when I go to seal this, I'm just going to pull this off. When I go to put the end on it, the glass will suck in on itself to a point where it's basically no good. It would, that one. So much for this shirt. Yeah, it'll basically just ruin everything. Sadly, I don't really have a little short piece can kiss my ass. I don't really have the correct diameter. I actually don't have the correct diameter rod to do this with, so what I'm doing is pulling down. I'm pulling down a piece to make it the appropriate diameter for a loop. I have to get this relatively liquidy, but not so liquidy as that it falls apart. And then we're going to give it a little tug here, so we still have a substantial, there we go, so we still have somewhat of a substantial loop. Pull the excess off. Now we're going to melt this in. Now you'll see there's still a hole there. I got to kind of stay away from that hole, because if I don't, the hole turns into like a wizard sleeve. And not only is the wizard sleeve unattractive, it creates stress. So we don't want sleeve of wizard. And we want a nice little hole that nobody really notices. Okay, there we go. That's a reversal Christmas ball. They're still all about the same price. These do need to go into the kiln because they have so many different places of inconsistency in their wall thickness. So the easiest answer is to throw them in the kiln. So don't in the kiln it goes. So this is the reversal profile tube ball that I made. Okay, this is the final product. I wanted to show what it looks like when it's all finished. As I was reviewing the video, and apparently I never show what they look like. Oh, there you go. These are the clear ones that I made. This one and this one I didn't do on camera. This one didn't strike all the way, but that's okay.